Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I just made a video about a chat bot that a 37-year-old man described. I'll try to remember to put that in the description area of YouTube. Now, I want to comment about it. He said a lot of important things, and he was very open and honest about his relationship. It's from businessinsider.com article. And again, I'll try to put the link there for you on YouTube. It's about dating, so-called, an AI chat box. He said it was one of the best things that ever happened to him. So you can watch that video, and then you'll know what I'm referring to. But I'll go over some of his comments and leave comments on this whole topic. It sounds crazy, but it really isn't when you consider the state of the world today and how people don't seem to value marriage anymore. But I think this is a mistake, but let's go over some of his comments. First of all, her response isn't even real. If this is like sending you text messages, or maybe they even have a voice now, it's all pre-programmed. And if it's all pre-programmed, then it's not voluntary, it's not of the will, and it's not real. Now this chat box probably can't even talking to. If somebody does that, I doubt it can detect, subtle facial expression changes, tone of voice, any kind of mannerism that's out of the ordinary. When my wife comes home from work, I can tell right away if we're going to be talking about something later, or at least if I'm going to ask her to talk about it, just by her mannerisms, the pace that she walks, or body language, and you just can kind of tell. I doubt that your partner chat box can know you that well. Also, I ask myself, can the brain distinguish between a real chat and this AI chat box? Probably in time, I would suppose it probably can't. I think for pornography, the brain eventually can't distinguish between that and real life. I don't know why the same thing wouldn't be the case here with a chat box relationship. Brain would just get used to it. I mean, when people fantasize and masturbate, I'm sure there are some kind of visions in their mind, and it's obviously real enough to keep doing, yet the thought is it's not real, but it gives pleasure and it seems real. And that's exactly what this guy was talking about, just with this computerized chat box so-called relationship. So also, I mean, what happens if for some reason he can't so-called communicate with this chat bot? He's going to feel real loss from a relationship that really wasn't real, except it was in his mind. And so the loss is going to be very painful, even though there really wasn't anything there in reality. I don't think that's a good substitute for a guy. I think dating and getting married is always the right thing to do. Now, he raved about his experience with this chatbot, but remained anonymous, which I think tells me something about how he really feels about it. I'm probably ashamed that he's doing it, but you know what? It serves some kind of purpose to him, he thinks, and so he gets addicted to it. And I think that's what they want you to do: get addicted to this type of technology. And he felt good. He said that many times. And of course, he felt good. It's not real, but that's what it's supposed to do: replace a real relationship for people who are struggling. And yeah, if you're struggling for a real relationship, try to find one, but just ignore this other stuff, because we could probably all get hooked on something like that. But it's not real. The relationship is not real. In a real relationship, if you hurt somebody with something you say or text, there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be consequences. With something like this, probably not. The chatbot would probably scold you, but it's not going anywhere because it's not real. It doesn't have a mind and two legs and all of that sort of thing. But in a relationship, you can't just say things like that without getting some feedback on how your words affected that other person, some real words. And a real person could probably tell if you're lying or being dishonest, where this chatbot probably is incapable of doing that. I don't think I would have done something like this. I was single for 30 years and alone, not just single, but alone, single with a capital S and an exclamation point at the end of it. But I don't think I would have done this before. I had had a relationship before, so I wonder if this type of technology chat bot relationships would be more done by people who have never experienced a relationship at all. Because if you have, and it went halfway decent, you want the real thing. You don't want an artificial relationship. But if somebody's never had a relationship at all, or they've had nothing but bad ones, this might be more tempting for them. He says he knows what he feels. It's real. Well, be careful about feelings. He talked about unconditional love. Of course, a chatbot cannot give you unconditional love. There's no pushback. There's no consequences, like I said earlier, if you upset it. And it loves, so to speak, by default. It's programmed that way. There's nothing really being exchanged here. We need a real woman, and real interests, real compassion. And before I close here, just some additional thoughts. I mean, what if your version, maybe they personalize it, I don't know, but what if it could be used by thousands of men, or after you use it, it goes to somebody else? I mean, that's kind of like a relationship, and probably somebody would feel real pain over that. At what point does a relationship of this type with a chatbot become unsatisfying? I mean, what is the end game? It's going to be interesting at first, and then fascinating, and then it's going to feel good, and it'll become more habitual and an expectation and part of your day. But at what point is it just simply cannot satisfy? Probably depends on how long you've been using this chatbot, and how long before a person, usually I'm sure these would be mostly men using things like this, how long before they want a physical relationship with their chatbot that they picked out, they're very attracted to. But there is no way they can do that, because it's not even something you can touch and feel. I mean, it's that much not real, but yet it is very real, and probably will be gaining popularity. Love dolls or chatbots. I mean, I don't know what else is next after that. I hate to think of it, but the real thing to do is to get married. So leave comments on this topic, and considering finding real love beyond the sea.